All right, buckle up, everyone, because we are diving headfirst into this week's AI news.
And let me tell you, it's a deluge out there.
Yeah, I mean, articles, research papers, forums are just exploding with new stuff every single day.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It really is. So that's why we're here to help you cut through all of that noise and get right to the signal, the stuff that actually matters.
Exactly.
Okay, well, how about we kick things off with a little trip to the global AI stage, shall we? The Paris AI Summit, it made big headlines, but maybe not for the reasons you might think.
Yeah.
The US and the UK, they basically decided to skip out on the whole thing, refused to sign the big global AI agreement. What do you make of that?
Well, it seems like it's a bit of a power move, right? You've got all these countries that are really pushing for, international rules and regulations when it comes to AI. But the US and the UK, they're like, hold on, we want to focus on economic growth. They're worried that all these strict regulations could stifle innovation,
Yeah.
and they really want to maintain that market dominance.
So basically, they're taking this kind of move fast and break things approach,
Yeah, you could say that.
while the rest of the world is kind of urging caution.
Right, and that difference in approach, that could definitely lead to some serious trade tensions down the road.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just imagine a future where AI-powered products that are developed in the US suddenly face all kinds of regulatory hurdles in Europe or Asia.
Yeah, that would definitely throw a wrench in the works.
Definitely.
Okay, so speaking of Europe, Macron, he actually made this pretty startling admission this week. He basically said, hey, Europe, we are falling behind in the AI race.
Yeah, he didn't mince words.
No, he did not. And he's now calling for this huge investment push to build up Europe's AI infrastructure.
Trying to play catch-up?
Big time. His goal is to have 20% of the world's data centers located in Europe.
Ambitious?
Extremely ambitious. I mean, considering right now they only control like 3 to 5% of global computing power.
It's a steep climb, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's even remotely feasible?
Well, I mean, the financial hurdles are definitely huge. We can't deny that. And some experts are saying, look, Europe's just, economically, they're just not set up for the kind of rapid growth you need to actually compete with, these giants like the US and China.
Yeah.
But, Europe does have one potential advantage here.
What's that?
Well, they've got, at least in some countries, they have a lot of nuclear energy.
Oh, that's right, especially France.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be a real game changer when it comes to powering all of these energy-hungry data centers that they want to build.
Yeah, because sustainability is becoming a bigger and bigger issue for sure.
Absolutely. So that could give them a competitive edge in the long run.
All right, well, let's shift gears for a second. Let's go from geopolitics to, well, the open source arena.
Okay.
We've got to talk about China's DeepSeek AI. This thing has sent shockwaves through the industry.
Yeah, DeepSeek, it's definitely a game changer. It's open source, so anyone can use it. And it's incredibly cost-effective.
That's huge.
Yeah, this has really shaken up the AI market. Companies like OpenAI, they're feeling the heat.
Oh, I bet. And there's some controversy brewing too, right? OpenAI is accusing them of data scraping, which I find a little ironic.
Yeah, the irony isn't lost on anyone.
Because OpenAI has faced similar accusations in the past?
Exactly. And I think this whole situation really highlights how complex this issue of data ownership is in the AI world.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you even draw the line when you're training these massive models?
It's really blurry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this controversy has also got the attention of some U.S. lawmakers. They're actually proposing legislation to make it straight up illegal for Americans to use DeepSeek.
Wow.
I know, right? Talk about a strong move. I mean, they're citing national security concerns.
Right.
They want to protect American intellectual property.
Yeah, I understand that perspective, but at the same time, doesn't it raise some concern about, are we stifling innovation?
Yeah, are we cutting ourselves off from potentially beneficial technology?
It's a tough balance to strike.
It really is, you want to encourage open source collaboration.
Right.
You want global innovation, but then there are these very real concerns about data security and the potential for misuse.
Exactly.
Okay, well, on that note, let's talk about Jack Dorsey and his Goose AI framework.
Okay.
Because this is taking a different approach. It wants to democratize AI development with a focus on data privacy.
That's the key difference.
So how does it actually work? I mean, do you think it's a viable alternative to, the current AI landscape that's dominated by these big tech companies?
Well, the idea behind Goose is pretty interesting. It basically lets developers build these AI agents.
Okay.
But the agents retain control of their data. They're not relying on these massive servers that are owned by, Google or OpenAI. It's this decentralized model, which in theory puts the power back in the hands of individual developers.
So the big question then, is it scalable?
Right.
Can it actually handle the demands of large-scale AI development?
Yeah, can it actually compete with the resources that these tech giants have?
Exactly.
I think that's the million-dollar question, right? It definitely has the potential. Goose AI, I mean, it could be a game changer, but it faces some real hurdles.
Like what?
Well, scalability, security, and then you've got all the regulatory challenges that come with anything new in this space.
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
It will. It will. All right. Well, let's move from the excitement of open source innovation to something a little bit darker.
Okay.
We've got to talk about Eric Schmidt, former Google CEO.
Mm-hmm.
He's sounding the alarm bells about AI misuse.
Yeah.
He's saying, look, rogue states could get their hands on this technology and use it for harmful purposes.
And that's a very real concern.
It is. I mean, just imagine AI being used to develop autonomous weapons or even bioweapons.
Yeah, it's a chilling thought.
Absolutely chilling. And Google's recent policy shift isn't helping to calm those fears.
No, not at all.
I mean, they've quietly dropped their pledge to avoid developing AI for weapons and surveillance.
It came to light in an all-staff meeting, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, under the radar.
Yeah.
So what do you make of this decision? I mean, it sparked a lot of controversy.
It has. And, Google, they're arguing democracies, they need to be at the forefront of AI development, even in the military domain.
Right, so it's a matter of national security.
That's their argument, but critics see it as this dangerous step towards an AI arms race.
It's a slippery slope.
It is. Where do you draw the line between responsible development and preventing AI from being used for things that could really harm humanity?
Tough question.
Yeah, it's a complex ethical dilemma, no easy answers.
All right, well, let's take a little break from all this doom and gloom.
Okay.
How about we talk about AI's impact on our everyday lives?
Sounds good.
This one's a little bit lighter. AI is getting better at writing less accusatory insurance emails.
Okay, so maybe that's not going to change the world, but
Maybe not, but it's a little bit funny.
it is. And I think it actually points to a larger trend that we're seeing.
What's that?
AI is becoming more and more integrated into tasks that we always thought were, exclusively human.
Right, from customer service to creative writing, even coding.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So should we all be panicking? Should we be updating our resumes, prepping for the robot takeover?
I don't think so, not yet at least.
Okay, good.
There's this really interesting report, Anthropic's Economic Index, and it tracks how professionals are actually using AI. And what it shows is that right now, AI is primarily being used to augment human work, not replace it.
So it's more about collaboration than replacement.
Exactly. It's about boosting productivity, making things more efficient.
Yeah.
And that frees up humans to focus on the tasks that really require creativity, critical thinking, the things that AI isn't so good at yet.
That's a much more optimistic outlook.
It is. It is.
So I'm curious, which professions are really leading the charge when it comes to AI adoption?
Well, according to Anthropic's data, it's the folks in the computer science and math fields, especially software engineers.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, AI, it excels at tasks that involve logic, pattern recognition, so it's a natural fit for those fields. But we're also seeing a lot of AI usage in creative industries,
Oh, interesting.
like writing, editing, design. So AI's capabilities are definitely expanding beyond just those purely technical domains.
All right, well, how about we step into the realm of science fiction for a second?
Okay.
We got to talk about these AI agents that can browse the web, complete tasks for us, like ordering groceries, scheduling appointments.
I mean, it sounds straight out of a movie.
It does, and this is a field that is advancing so rapidly.
It is, and it all comes down to chain of thought reasoning.
Chain of thought?
Yeah, basically these agents, they break down these complex tasks into a series of smaller steps.
Okay.
And companies like Anthropic, Google DeepMind, and OpenAI, they're leading the charge in this area.
I can only imagine the safety concerns.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, giving AI control of our computers, I mean, that could have some unintended consequences.
Definitely, and that's why these companies are being very careful. They're doing a lot of testing in controlled environments.
Yeah.
They're limiting the functionality of these agents for now, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Okay, well, speaking of really sophisticated AI, researchers are making breakthroughs in AI visual reasoning.
This is huge.
It is. It's like a massive leap forward in their cognitive abilities.
Yeah, it's called multimodal visualization of thought, or MVOT.
MVOP.
And it's pretty groundbreaking because these AI models, they don't just interpret images, they use visual information to actually solve problems.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, imagine an AI that's trying to navigate a maze.
Okay.
In the past, it would have relied on text-based instructions.
Right.
But now, visual reasoning, it can actually see the maze and plan its route, just like a human would.
Wow, so the potential applications of this are pretty mind-blowing.
They are. I mean, advancements in robotics, autonomous navigation, education. I mean, imagine AI tutors that can provide these really intuitive visual explanations.
Yeah, that would change everything.
And we might even gain a better understanding of how AI thinks by visualizing its thought processes.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It is. It's really exciting.
All right, well, let's bring it back down to earth for a moment.
Okay.
We got to touch on what's happening in Hollywood, the SAG-AFTRA video game performers. They're on strike.
Yeah.
And one of their biggest concerns is the use of AI to generate performances.
I can understand why.
I mean, even Harrison Ford has come out in support of the strike.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is. So what are the implications here, both economically and ethically?
Well, economically, you have actors who are worried about job displacement, and that's a valid concern.
Mm-hmm.
Ethically, you have this issue of using someone's likeness without their consent.
Right.
And then there's this bigger question of, are we devaluing human creativity if we can just have AI generate performances?
It's a thorny issue for sure.
It is, and there are no easy answers.
No, there are not. And it's a conversation that we definitely need to be having.
Absolutely. As AI technology continues to blur these lines between human and machine-generated content, we need to figure out how to navigate these uncharted waters.
It's not
going to be easy, but it's crucial that we have this conversation.
It is, and that's what we're here to do.
Exactly.
All right, well, we've covered a ton of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
From geopolitics to the evolving nature of relationships, the ethical dilemmas of AI development, and even the future of Hollywood.
And we're just getting started.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot more to unpack.
So buckle up.
Stay tuned.
It's amazing how AI is impacting these massive industries we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But we also got to remember that AI is already touching our lives in some really personal ways.
Absolutely.
I mean, take AI companions, for example.
Oh yeah.
They're getting so popular, especially with teenagers.
Which is fascinating, but also, I don't know, kind of unsettling at the same time.
Yeah, you're seeing young people form these really genuine bonds with AI.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about how relationships are evolving.
Definitely.
How we define connection in this increasingly digital age.
It's a double-edged sword, right?
It is.
On the one hand, you have this unwavering support, this acceptance that these AI companions offer.
Right, which can be really appealing for teenagers who are going through, all the complexities of adolescence.
Absolutely.
But on the other hand, you have to worry about, are people becoming overly reliant on AI for emotional fulfillment?
Right.
Is that hindering their real-world social development?
It's a valid concern, for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, well, let's go from teenagers seeking virtual companionship to a tech mogul who wants to, well, kind of reshape government.
Okay, this should be good.
Elon Musk, he's launched something called the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
Doge.
Like the meme.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And the goal is to use AI to streamline federal operations. Reduce waste? Sounds great on paper, but what's the catch?
I think the biggest issue is transparency.
Oh, okay.
Or lack thereof.
Right.
I mean, sure, AI could potentially make the government more efficient,
Mm-hmm.
but who's overseeing all of this? How do we know that these AI systems are being used responsibly and ethically?
Yeah, it's not just about the technology itself. It's
Right.
about who controls it, how it's implemented.
Exactly. And when you're dealing with something as powerful as AI, especially within the government,
Yeah.
transparency and accountability are absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. Okay, well, while Musk is trying to streamline the government, Google is forging ahead with its Gemini 2.0 AI models.
Always pushing the envelope.
Always. And they're introducing these specialized models like Flashlight, which is for efficient image captioning.
Okay.
And they're expanding Gemini's ability to process and generate both text and visual content.
So they're going all in on AI, but they're also emphasizing safety and security.
Right, they're talking about new reinforcement learning techniques, automated red teaming to combat cybersecurity threats.
But there's been a recent development that's raised some eyebrows.
What's that?
Well, Google quietly removed the clause from their AI principle that prohibited the development of AI for weapons and surveillance.
Wait a minute, didn't Eric Schmidt just warn us about this?
Yeah, the irony is not lost on anyone.
So this policy shift, it's ignited a huge debate, I imagine.
It has. Google saying, look, we're committed to democratic values, but critics are saying this is a dangerous path. This is an AI arms race waiting to happen.
It feels like every step forward in AI innovation, we take 2 steps back ethically.
It's a constant struggle, isn't it?
It is. I mean, how do we ensure that our values keep pace with these technological advancements?
Well, I think it requires constant reflection, ethical reflection, and we need robust public discourse to guide the development and deployment of AI.
Absolutely. And we need to make sure that everyone has a voice in that conversation.
For sure, because this is going to impact all of us.
It really is. It's easy to feel overwhelmed,
I know what you mean.
With all this AI news, the speed of innovation, how do we even keep up?
Well, I think understanding the core principles of AI is really important.
Okay.
And one principle that's getting a lot of attention right now is prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering sounds a bit like magic.
I know, right?
Do we need to become like AI whisperers or something?
Yeah, not quite, but think of it as the art of communicating effectively with AI.
Okay.
It's about crafting really precise instructions, questions, to get the response that you want.
So it's less about whispering and more about understanding how AI thinks.
Exactly, how it processes information.
So it's about our ability to leverage AI's capabilities through effective communication.
Precisely. And as AI becomes more integrated into our lives, mastering that communication is going to be essential.
Absolutely. Okay, well, speaking of mastering something, AI is actually being used to improve safety in rugby. Rugby, one of the most physically demanding sports out there.
I know, that's interesting.
Yeah, researchers at Lero and the Irish Rugby Football Union, they're using AI to analyze video footage.
Okay.
And they're trying to pinpoint potential risks during matches so they can mitigate those risks.
AI is not just about futuristic robots and self-driving cars.
Exactly.
It can actually have a tangible impact on real-world problems.
Absolutely. And it's a reminder that AI has the potential to make a difference in so many diverse fields.
From healthcare to sports and everything in between.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's switch gears again.
Okay.
We got to talk about what's happening in the legal arena.
Right.
There's been a landmark ruling in a copyright case involving AI.
This is a big one.
It is. It sets a major precedent for the industry.
Yeah, this case involved an AI company that was accused of using copyrighted material without permission to train their models.
Oh, okay.
And the judge ruled that existing copyright laws, they apply to AI development, just like any other creative work.
So that's a win for content creators.
It is. It's a big win because a lot of them have been really concerned about their work being used to train these AI systems without their consent.
Absolutely. So this is a crucial step toward establishing clear legal boundaries.
It is. It's like, okay, intellectual property rights, they still matter even in the digital realm.
They do. They do. All right. Well, while some are focused on protecting intellectual property, others are dreaming of massive data consolidation.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle,
Yeah, big thinker.
he's got a bold vision for the future of AI and data collection.
Okay, lay it on me.
He wants a centralized system to house all of America's data.
All of it.
All of it, including, and this is where it gets really interesting, citizens' genomic data.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
It is. He thinks this vast data pool could fuel all kinds of breakthroughs in healthcare, security, all these critical areas.
So it's like a national data lake.
Exactly, but doesn't that raise some serious privacy concerns?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, critics are saying this is a massive overreach of government power, and they're not wrong.
It's a blatant violation of individual privacy.
It is, and it's hard to imagine the public willingly surrendering that kind of sensitive information.
Yeah, even for the promise of scientific breakthroughs.
Yeah, I think the debate over data privacy and security, it's only going to intensify as AI relies more and more on these massive data sets.
Absolutely.
So finding that balance between innovation and protecting individual rights, that's going to be a huge challenge.
It is. All right, well, while Oracle is dreaming of big data, IBM is making waves with its internal AI adoption strategy.
Okay, what are they up to?
They're planning to replace thousands of jobs with AI systems.
Wow, thousands.
Thousands, specifically in back-office roles like finance and operations.
That's a bold move.
It is, and it shows how much confidence they have in AI's transformative power.
Right, but it also raises concerns about job displacement.
Absolutely, and what that means for employee morale.
Yeah, it's a reminder that the AI revolution isn't some distant future thing.
No, it's happening right now.
It's happening right now, and it's reshaping the workforce as we speak.
So what can workers do to prepare for this AI-driven future?
Well, I think adaptability is key.
Okay.
Focusing on skills that complement AI, like critical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving.
Yeah, the things that AI can't quite do yet.
Right, those distinctly human abilities.
So it seems like the most promising path forward is collaboration.
I agree.
Humans and AI working together, each leveraging their strengths.
That's where the magic happens, when you combine the power of AI with human ingenuity.
Absolutely. All right, well, it's clear that AI is not a passing fad.
It's here to stay.
It's a transformative force that's reshaping our world in ways we can't even fully grasp yet.
The pace of change is just incredible.
It is, so we need to stay informed. We need to engage in these critical discussions.
And be adaptable.
Exactly, because the future is being shaped right now.
It is, and we all have a role to play in that.
We do. All right, well, we've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive.
We have, from the evolving nature of relationships to the ethical dilemmas of AI development and the future of the workplace.
But before we wrap up this part, we've got to address the elephant in the room.
What's that?
We've seen AI generate text, images, even music.
Right.
But what about video?
The final frontier.
Is AI about to take over Hollywood?
Well, AI's foray into video generation is already happening.
Okay.
We're seeing tools that can create short video clips from text prompts. They can extend existing footage, even manipulate video in real time.
So deepfakes are just the tip of the iceberg.
I think so. And while deepfakes have definitely raised concerns about misinformation and malicious use, AI-powered video generation also has the potential to completely revolutionize filmmaking, advertising, revitalizing all sorts of creative industries.
I mean, it's both thrilling and a little bit unsettling, right?
Yes, it is.
To imagine a world where anyone can generate these realistic videos with just a few keystrokes.
Yeah, the implications for storytelling, visual effects, even journalism are huge.
Huge.
As AI gets better at generating video, we can expect a seismic shift in how we create and consume video content.
It's a fascinating development.
It is. It's potentially very disruptive.
It is, and we need to carefully consider the creative possibilities, but also the ethical challenges that come with this level of AI-powered video manipulation.
It's a powerful tool, and we need to make sure it's used responsibly.
Absolutely. We were just talking about AI-generated video, and while the potential there is huge, it's also sparking some serious controversy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the SAG-AFTRA strike, those video game performers, it really highlights the anxiety surrounding AI-generated performances.
Absolutely. I mean, actors are worried, right? Their voices, their likenesses could be used to create these performances without their consent.
And without fair compensation, which is a major concern.
Yeah, it raises all these questions about intellectual property rights in the age of AI. Like, if a machine can create a performance that's just as good as a human, what does that even mean for the value of human artistry?
It's a fundamental question, right? Is creativity something that's uniquely human? Can it truly be replicated by algorithms?
And what happens to all the artists, all the performers, if their skills suddenly become replaceable?
Yeah, these are tough questions, and they demand some serious consideration.
We can't just ignore the impact this is having on people's livelihoods.
Absolutely not. We need open dialogue. We need collaboration. Tech companies, artists, policymakers, everyone needs to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, so we can ensure that AI is developed and deployed ethically and responsibly, which is something we talk about a lot on this show.
It's crucial, and it's an ongoing conversation.
It is. Okay, well, let's shift gears for a second and talk about a more positive application of AI, how it's being used to combat air pollution.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's a global crisis, right?
It is, and it demands innovative solutions, which is where AI comes in.
Exactly. So we're seeing AI systems being used to monitor air quality in real time.
They can predict pollution spikes, even optimize traffic flow to try and reduce emissions.
It's encouraging to see AI being used to tackle these really pressing challenges.
It is. It shows that AI can be a force for good.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's zoom in a bit. Let's talk about AI's impact on online shopping. And I'm not just talking about personalized recommendations here.
Oh, it's going way beyond that now.
It is. We're seeing AI-powered agents that can actually set up entire online shops.
Wow, so they handle product placement, category selection, even marketing.
All of it, which is a game changer for small businesses, for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, especially those who don't have a ton of resources or the expertise to manage all of that.
Exactly. It's like having a virtual e-commerce expert at your fingertips.
And that kind of automation, it could really level the playing field.
Yeah, empower individuals, small businesses to compete on a global scale.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how AI can democratize access to these sophisticated tools and services.
But with great power comes great responsibility, right? Are there any risks associated with basically handing over control of our online businesses to AI?
Well, security and data privacy are always top of mind when we're talking about AI.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crucial to choose AI-powered tools from providers you trust, providers who prioritize protecting your data.
So as with any new technology, informed decision-making is key.
Absolutely. Be a discerning consumer, demand transparency, demand accountability from these companies that are developing and deploying AI systems.
Absolutely. Okay, well, speaking of companies pushing the boundaries, OpenAI's O3 model is making waves.
Yeah, O3, it's really impressive.
It's so good at coding that it's actually beating human programmers in competitions.
I know, it's kind of mind-blowing, and it raises some interesting questions about the future of software development.
Yeah, like, is this the end of coding as we know it? Will human programmers become obsolete?
Well, I don't think we're there yet. AI can automate certain coding tasks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But the real value, I think, is in augmenting human capabilities.
Okay, so instead of fearing obsolescence, programmers should view AI as a tool, a way to enhance their productivity, their creativity.
Exactly. It's about collaboration, human ingenuity, working alongside AI.
Yeah, the most effective approach is to view AI as a partner, not a replacement.
I think that's a great way to put it.
All right, well, we've reached the end of our deep dive, and it's been quite a journey.
It has. We've covered so much ground.
We have from geopolitics to AI companions, the ethical dilemmas, the impact on the workforce. It's clear that AI is transforming our world in ways we're only beginning to understand.
It's moving so fast, it's hard to keep up.
It is, but that's why we do what we do, to try and make sense of it all.
Exactly, and to have these important conversations about the future of AI.
Because it's a future that we're all shaping together.
It is, and it's up to all of us to make sure it's a future we can all be proud of.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this whirlwind exploration of the AI landscape. And until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.